Thanks, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Why did you do that to me? You set me up for failure.
Hello. It's been a couple of days since we watched Asylum of the Daleks, and we've been busy and stuff, so since I've got on for a promise of watching more Doctor Who today, I thought I'd better get this video done. When's the last time the Daleks were truly scary? Been trying to think about this.
I don't find them particularly scary.
Did you not find them scary in that episode, though?
Which episode?
Asylum of the Daleks, the one we just watched.
I can't really remember what happened.
So they landed on the planet and they went down, and there were all the mad Daleks spinning around, looking like ballerinas, and Amy nearly turned into a Dalek.
I don't know particularly scary.
Oh, I did. I found it quite scary. And I recall back to when my father even has told me that he saw a Dalek back in 1963 and never watched the programme again because it scared him. Within a minute, young lady. So here's the thing. I genuinely found that episode eerie, and Daleks don't do eerie for me very much. I do find them an absolutely potent force in Doctor Who, though. And since Victory of the Daleks was, in all honesty, something of a letdown, I do think it's worthwhile having had a really, really good Dalek story. And I do think this is a really, really good Dalek story. I love the whole idea that this is the Mad Daleks. We've seen them shoot each other before, though, and so that doesn't quite stack up. But I will forgive it that, because the conceit of having, Daleks from Exelon and Daleks from Spiridon and all this there, it pays off. And the special weapons Dalek is there, who is the greatest Dalek of all time. We know this to be true. I like the fact that the Daleks seemingly could nab the Doctor at any time, but they don't, because they kind of know that, and it's touched upon, isn't it? They've got better because of fighting him. What a brilliant reason, that sort of relationship between the two of them, which is essential to the fabric of Doctor Who. I've said before that you could get away without having Daleks in Doctor Who. And in terms of the fiction of the programme, yes, you could. But in terms of the success of the programme, no, you can't. So having the Daleks back as a season opener, fantastic idea. Moffat's going to do it again later, but it works. It really works. And I prefer the Daleks at the start of a season to the end of the season, quite frankly. I think it makes for a better balance to the season. I do find the whole Amy and Rory relationship thing upsetting. And I know I'm supposed to find it upsetting, but it's a bit real for me. I'm not entirely sure if it's too real for Doctor Who. Again, I applaud Moffat for pushing forward the boundaries of what Doctor Who can be, and having had a married couple companion, never had that before, now having a married couple companion having marital difficulties, that's an interesting way to go, and the justification for it's there, and it all stacks up. And I really, really, really find it quite upsetting, but that's because I care for these characters so much, and I just think they're absolutely superb. And the fact that they might fall out genuinely upsets me. It also, whilst I can buy Amy being in marital difficulties, I do struggle with Rory being in marital difficulties, because he's just so awesome and nice.
Well, I don't think he would have that attitude if things had gone badly. You can't imagine that he'd be like all arsey about it.
That's it. And the true Rory shines through at the end, where it's quite clear that, he's going back into the house with her, and he sort of goes, yeah, like that. That's my Rory, that's my Doctor Who. And again, I can't complain too much about that, because without pushing forward the boundaries of what Doctor Who is, you don't get more Doctor Who. So, Moffat, thank you for that, but I'm glad that order is restored at the end of this story. And then, of course, we have to discuss this, and it's really hard to discuss what I'm about to discuss. And one of the reasons for that is, and it's dawned on me the other day, this is the first time in Doctor Who's history where it is very aware as a programme, as a programme on telly, that it's not only it has the immediacy of being in the here and now, which is something that perhaps modern Doctor Who doesn't have. Right now, Doctor Who, it almost has lost that because of streaming and this, that and the other. But also is painfully aware that it's going to be rewatched. So there's this tension. Like, there's the event television aspect of it, but you will watch this episode 27 times anyway. So the complexity of it, do you know, it's such a weird period in Doctor Who's history. So we've got to discuss a supporting actor in this to a depth that we've never had to discuss a supporting actor before, really, apart from Bilal, back in Death to the Daleks. But that's okay. And we have to discuss Oswin Oswald, who
Oh, I just remember what the story is.
who is played by Jenna Coleman, and who dies at the end of this episode. And obviously we're never going to see again. But we know we are going to see her again because we knew, as Doctor Who fans, that Jenna Coleman was playing the new companion. And yet here she is in the first story of the season. And we know she's not supposed to be here. We knew she wasn't supposed to be here. And yet there she is. What's she doing? And so her presence in this story takes on much more weight than it otherwise would do. Now, I'm not being funny here, but this is obviously a very important character, irrespective of the casting. And were it not for the fact that we knew that Jenna Coleman would be the next companion, the replacement for Amory, essentially, this part would have been played by a very famous actress. Do you know what I mean? It's that bigger part, really. This is a huge part. This Dalek that thinks they're a person, that's a gift. That is a gift for an actress. You know, who would have played this role? We do this all the time. I'm not familiar with actresses enough to say, but there would have been so many agents. If Moffat had gone out and sort of said, I've got this part, it's in the season opener, it's this Dalek that thinks it's a human, I need a hot young actress to play it, who have we got? It would be Carey Mulligan, wouldn't it? It would be something like that, but Carey Mulligan 3 years on after Blink. It would have been one of these actresses that was on the... And it's played by Jenna Coleman, who's clearly a brilliant actress. We're going to see a lot more of how brilliant an actress she is. But, my God, that part's amazing. You know, the whole story's sort of like framed around it, really, isn't it? I mean, I love the bit at Skaro at the start with the Doctor, the Amy and Rory falling out, that's all great. But what really makes this story sit together is at the heart of it, you've got this almost Greek chorusy, narratory type thing going on. And that's Jenna Coleman. God, she's amazing in this. Go on.
Yeah, I agree.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
Because I have to second guess your opinions of companions these.
Coleman.
No. We're talking about this role. She's not playing. It's Jenna. Who is Jenna Coleman? I don't know who Jenna Coleman is. She's just playing this part. Do you like?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And when where'd you get the milk from? All that stuff like that. It's really hard.
Okay.
And when she's lying on the bed at the start, and she plays. Is it Carmen? Yes, she's playing Carmen, isn't it? It's just. And Daleks are scary. And it's moments like that. They are, though. They are in this, I think they're bloody... And that bit with the ballerina going round. Oh, my goodness me. So here we are. We're in a brand new season of Doctor Who. And just to touch back upon something we've been talking about in the last two stories, just to touch back upon it, we've got this idea again of the Doctor being forgotten. And I think it's a really interesting idea. And obviously this is the most episode of Doctor Who I've ever seen. I've never seen any Doctor Who after this. But in the episodes of Doctor Who I have seen after this, I don't really think this gets picked up properly again. Does it? We'll find out together. Of course we'll find out together. But
Sorry, just pressed the wrong button.
thank you so much for that. That was very beautiful. Anyway, I loved that as a season opener of Doctor Who. I loved it. I loved it as a picking up the Dalek mantle again. Matt Smith is just sublime. And this Jenna Coleman, who we'll never see again, what a fantastic one-off appearance in Doctor Who. Superb. Anything else to say?
I think they should bring her back. I liked her that much.
Well, there we go. Let's hope that somebody does one day. Farewell.